Because apparently I used to sing it to my sister every morning before going to school while I was doing her hair and getting kids, and she reminded me, she said, you used to make us try and sing in harmony as well. Oh my God.
Oh, that's cruel.
What is it Elephant knows in the graveyard of bones? Are they called to return, to remember? It's a bit of a taboo subject in our culture, talking about grief and sadness and loss and death.
With a storm in me, I am all at sea, and the swells that push home me to the surface. I've lost the shore, and the boy has gone.
I wanted to better understand what happens when you make art around loss and what the effect of that is, and then I wanted to share that learning and that experience with the community. I work with poetry and with prose, and so the book is the perfect medium, really, to contain those things. Nan, she'd visited in the dawn before leaving, a skeletal vision of translucent skin. And it's my Nan, and you know, and so then there's this one here, which is more a broader experience of a loss that my mother experienced, and a death that my mother experienced, which somehow had something to do with her mother and now has something to do with me. These bones, she'd said, now they are yours.
Each page asks of me, well, what are you going to do with me? And I would start, and then it developed itself. As with all art, really, I think it makes itself if you let it.
Spring's pink azaleas, de profundis, now dead on the bush in stubborn clutches, refusing to fall.
The things that were missing somehow became incorporated into the work. I could experience her more and feel more of a sense of who she was and how it was for her. She never had the education that she should have. It really brought her and I together in myself as an adult, you know, so it was an integration that I hadn't expected, really. This is the main book that we made. It's got a bit loose in something, but it stands up quite nicely.
You know, a postcard it's quite small, and it's not as daunting as a large sheet of paper. So we had a stamp on it, and they posted them back to us, so they didn't have to identify themselves. Most of the postcards that came back to us were anonymous.
It only took me maybe an hour to do, and it was really fun. Fun to deal with something and think about it, compartmentalise it, and then send it on. So you get all walks of life come through library doors. There's no physical or any sort of barriers to people coming in and using a library. A lot of people were very interested in it, and they spent a lot of time with the books. And some people would just spend hours with the images.
What happened? Why it just shifted, didn't it? We've got into the anger of the grief now.
That's right. At each one there was a really strong sense of connectedness.
Hands industrious in the warm, sudsy waters of restoration, returning the soul to shore.
I was surprised to find that it took me on more of the creative journey than the grief journey, which was really, really good.
We're more resilient when we're sharing things together.
So as I put things down on paper, it got lighter and lighter and lighter. whereas I was expecting to get darker and darker and darker. The benefit of it is just not hiding in the dark with pain.
With a storm in me, I'm all at sea in the swells.
These are new brushes.
Seeking some silent truth in the ashes, browned blossom by blossom, I let go, little by little. And when you're using the artistic to do it and not the therapeutic to do it, you also get to make something beautiful. There were so many different experiences of loss communicated through these stories.
I really wanted to convey what I felt was in my heart for other people to see, and made sure that it was sewn into one of the books, and it was there.
Grief is not something to get over in a year, and you never forget somebody, and there's always an ongoing process.
Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, my Lord, Kumbaya, oh Lord, Kumbaya. Don't feel nervous or anything. Come on.